I don't think it's a surprise. I mean, Kenya claims to be a democracy. It also claims to have one of the most progressive constitutions, and a transition was bound to happen anyway. He is president-elect, announced by the commission, and the court upheld the win. So I don't see any other way apart from the transition happening so that Kenyans move forward, because there's also been anxiety around the whole thing. They've been campaigning for the longest time. I think for the first time Kenya has people have campaigned for a very long time. Right. And it's time we start seeing what the incoming regime has for Kenyans, because we're not at a good place economically.
And we would have been having a different discussion hadn't this meeting happened hours to the inauguration, with uncertainty of whether the incumbent will show up for the transition to the new president-elect. But as we now get into the conversation of legacy, would you see it from the lenses of legacy and a social scientist that this was strategic in terms of diffusing anything that was out there for President Uhuru Kenyatta to leave, I wouldn't say a taintless kind of legacy, but less tainted?
I think the legacy is more tainted. Well, it's good on paper, the Big Four agenda.
Right.
A little bit brilliant, because what it touches on is basically dignity of Kenyans. When you talk about healthcare, food security, manufacturing, housing, and all those things. So we've had them very nicely on paper. But on the implementation bit, no, I don't think so. So I don't think the transition was more of a legacy. It was more of, it needs to happen. So let's just do it.
Okay. Would you think he was saving face in your perspective, because in the last few days there hasn't been the kindness of words that have been shared in the political scene, and that would have been, perhaps the memory of many of a sore loser leaving office?
No, you see, it's not about the person.
Yeah,
it's about a nation. This nation called Kenya belongs to 52 million people. So you cannot keep them in abeyance for all that time. I think you've seen how Britain has transited. It's seamless. It is well documented. I think going into the future, there is need to document transition. I know certain aspects have been documented, but we need to improve so that we know at what point is the outgoing president expected to behave in a certain way, so that we don't leave it to an individual. This time round, I think my good friend, the son of the late Jomo, I think left it too late. There's nothing strategic, in my view, with what he did. He should have been a gentleman, and I've known him to be a gentleman. He should have just, been magnanimous and said, okay, fine, listen, you are not my preferred choice. You saw what Obama did.
Yes.
Okay? Exactly. It's playing back. Trump wasn't the preferred candidate for President Obama. But when the moment came, he took the spide and he said, listen, America is greater than all of us. And therefore, I will ensure that the transition is seamless. And I welcome President Trump to the White House for discussion and a cup of coffee. That is how gentlemen behave. That is how civilized people behave.